So when you ask your question, share your name, where you're from, and feel free to dig into your question.
Hi, my name's Heather, and I'm from here. And my question, I have two for you, Claudia. So they're both about lost stars.
Okay.
And growing up with Star Wars, you know, the movies, you're always in the minds of the heroes. And what I loved so much about Lost Stars was we have a main character who's in the Empire. And it was just really fascinating to read and see how someone could get sucked into that and to believe that. So my first question is, you know, how did you get into that mindset to be able to, what was your process of writing someone who is buying into the propaganda of the Empire?
Well, when Star Wars came to me, that was the first book, I thought they were just going to give me an outline and I would write it. And she was stuck enough about Star Wars, I was like, that'd be okay. And instead they were like, okay, it's two childhood friends who wind up on opposite sides of that war. And there's this really angry guy who joins the Empire and this idealistic young woman who joins the rebellion. And I immediately came back and said, I want the idealistic girl in the Empire and the angry guy in the rebellion. They were like, okay. And then that was it. And that was really great because, you know, this may be a deeper answer that you're looking for, but if you really look at like the nature of evil, like the most insidious evil to me is not the stuff that uses your worst instincts. It's the stuff that takes your best instincts and perverts them. You know, Sana she's loyal, you know, she believes in doing her duty. You know, she is not somebody who makes a commitment lightly, you know, and these are all things that ought to be virtues. And then she's in this system and she's having to excuse a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And she's surrounded by people who are doing the same thing. This sort of thing reflects on it. You know, and eventually it does hit a point where she can't deceive herself any longer. But yeah, I wanted to get into that because there are literally supposed to be like trillions of people in the Imperial Starfleet, and it's like not all of them can be like twirling their mustache and, you know, tying people to railroad tracks in their spare time. You know, somebody has to think that they're doing this thing for the right reasons. What on earth would those be? So that was really interesting to get into.
Thank you. My second question, are we going to get a sequel?
I firmly believe it's going to happen someday. We just have to see what lines up with their publishing schedules, but like I hear good things from them. You know, I think it's going to happen.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Heather.